Hi Stampers, my name is Sandy Hancock. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm coming to you from Southern California. Today is Monday, April the 7th, 2025. So I'm going to be showing you a couple of new things that are coming in the new catalog. So first thing is the Gallery Blooms bundle, which I'm going to be showing you. And then I'm going to be showing you this gorgeous, beautiful gallery DSP at 6x6. So here are the numbers if you want to put it on your wish list. So when it comes to the stamps, this die comes along with those dies. And these, of course, dies just cut out the flowers. But I want to show you what happens with this particular die. So when you use this one die, you're going to get three pieces. You're going to get the big frame, you're going to get the medium frame, and you're going to get this little piece. Okay, so every time you use this die, if you put in a quarter of a piece of cardstock, you're going to get all three pieces. Now, I have made a card just using, let me pull this up, just using this, and this is all I wanted, this size. So if you just want this size, you don't need to use up a quarter of a piece of cardstock. So instead, you would cut a piece of cardstock that's 3 inches by 4 3/4. So you can see you're saving a little bit of cardstock. And then you're just going to simply get this. Of course, you're always going to get the middle. I'll show you something I was going to do with it, but I ended up changing my mind. I was going to insert this someplace. So this is one of the centers. Then I just cut a smaller white piece. And I was going to put this on a card, but I changed my mind, changed the design. But anyway, I just wanted you to see that those are the frames that this cuts. Okay, now let me put these aside. And I want to take a look at the papers. These are the beautiful gallery papers. I'm sure you've been seeing them. They are gorgeous. I don't know what I'm going to do with this one yet because it's too big for a regular size card. So to be determined. It is beautiful. Okay, so we've got this print. And on the back are black and whites that you could color in or just use with black and white. This print. This is the one we're getting ready to use. Absolutely love this print. Here's another one. And you can see as I turn them over what's on the back. Okay, then this makes me feel like I'm out in a wheat field. Beautiful flowers. More flowers. Sailboat. The card I've made with this particular one is going to be for my pastor because he owns a sailboat. Love that one. And then a cabin. So if you know somebody that loves the rustic outdoors, this is perfect. So can you see that these papers are great for, some of them are great for women and some are great for men. So this is a very versatile stack of DSP. All right, so let's get started on this card. And you're going to see that some of these cards need white cardstock. Some of them need beige. So if you don't have beige cardstock and you're interested in these DSPs, you definitely need to put beige cardstock on your wish list for your next order. Okay, so we're going to cut this down. Okay, so this frame itself, which way does this go? This way. The frame itself is 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. Okay, there's the frame. So if you wanted to cut a piece of DSP that would just fit, like this one does, then you're going to cut it 3 3/8 by 5 1/8. So that's, and then you have to decide where do you want the frame to land. You know, you can move it all around. I decided I kind of like this corner because I'm getting, well, no, I'm going to pull it down a little bit, I think, yeah. So I can get some of these flowers and this flower. So I'm going to first cut the 3 3/8. I'm going to cut the width first. Okay, so we're going to go 3 3/8. Okay. All right, then, all right, so now I want 5 1/8, and I remember that I wanted to come down a little bit, so I'm going to cut off a little bit from the top. Okay, then I'm going to come down 5 1/8, 5 1/8, and hopefully this is going to fit. Okay, let's see if it does. Oh, yes, it does. Very, very nice. Okay, so I'm just going to put, let's see. I think I've got too much going on here. All right, so I'm just going to put adhesive on the back of the frame, and I'm going to add the frame to the DSP. Pretty easy to do. And I purposefully cut it 1/4 of an inch smaller so it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, then I'm going to flip this over. Now I'm going to add this. Okay, see, I could have, here's some options. You could make it go diagonally like that. Is that diagonally? Yeah, kind of put it off. I decided that I'm going to put it straight because I want to add the happy birthday from So Sincere on here. So this is a quick card. You've seen me do cards with a lot of steps recently. Well, these, sometimes it's fun to have a card that doesn't have a lot of steps, right? And it ends up being really pretty. I think this card fits into that category. In fact, every card I'm making today, I'm just making 2, but I'm going to show you about 7 or 8 others. They all fall into this category of being pretty simple. Now, that does not look straight. Hello. Like I said, this is an easy card. Okay, it looks like the top of that is not even. I'm going to go just trim it so that it is even. Yeah, not sure how that happened. Okay, now I think we're good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, oh, and by the way, this frame is that new Secret C. When I saw how dark this was, I thought, ooh, I don't know if I'm going to like it or not. Oh my goodness, I love it. Okay, so this is Secret C. And I'm going to practice one time on just a sheet piece. This happy birthday is from So Sincere. I mean, you really get what you see. Woo, beautiful. Okay, so I'm just going to stamp that on here. Hold your breath. Okay, very good. Okay, then if I could find them, I would add these new in color gems, but do you think I can find them? I'm not kidding. I've turned this place upside down looking for them. So anyway, they're beautiful. They're the new in color dots, and I have no clue where they are. So we'll have to skip that part. Okay, then inside, I'm just going to add a little piece. I think this is, yeah, this is 1/4 of an inch. Normally I would have made normally I put this on top of the DSP, but it didn't work out that way this time. So, okay, so I'm putting down that little strip. And then for this one, this is actually the back of this sheet. Let me just find it and show you where. Okay, here we go. Okay, see the back of it? The back of it matches it. I mean, in a subtle kind of way. It's really, really pretty. Okay, so then I used, I'll show you what I used, the Fancy Border dies, and I just put it, so this is about 3/4 of a piece. Normally I cut, I think 1 inch. It might be a little bit better. You just put that and then run it this way through the die, and you get that really pretty little finish to it. So let's add this. Like I say, this is the first time I've done this way. Normally I put the blue on top of this, but I think this is going to be fine. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Okay, just gives a little interest. Happy birthday. I'm not sure what I'm going to say inside. I'll decide that. And then I will add the embellishments when I find them again. Or if I don't ever find them, I'm going to order them the next time I sit down to order. Okay, so there's card number 1. Pretty easy, right? Using the frame. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Okay, next we're going to make this card. And I absolutely love this sketch. Oh, you know what? I pulled out the wrong, oh, here it is. Here we go. Okay, so this is the back of this gorgeous piece. I made a card on with this side also, but I thought that is just so stunning. I really wanted to make a card out of it. So I cut a black frame, and let's see, we don't need that little guy. And this time I'm using, let's see, basic gray for my base. And then you have to kind of decide, you know, I really did not want to just have it fit under here. I thought, wouldn't it be fun to have it, see what I'm doing? I'm letting the DSP extend beyond the frame. And I think that's really pretty cool. It makes it very simple, but I kind of like it a lot. Okay, so we're going to cut the front DSP is going to be 5.5, so it's going to go from the top to the bottom completely by 3 7/8. And I'm going to just have it start again right at the edge. So let's go 3 7/8. Cut that one first. 3. Wait, that does not feel right. 3 7/8. Could that be right? Let me just check. Yeah, it could be right. Okay, 3 7/8. Okay, here we go. Save this little piece because you're going to make something pretty for the inside with it. Okay. Oh, hold on. I have to cut the other. Okay, so now I'm going to cut it 5.5. Let's see, how am I going to do that? Okay, so I'm just going to cut a little bit off at the top. You can play with this, and then we're going to make it 5.5 because we want it to go all the way to the bottom. Okay, and if this bugs you, if you don't like it sticking out beyond, then don't do it that way. See, it's gonna go beyond the frame. I love it. Okay, so the frame, when you just do it this way, you can see that there's more cardstock on the right and left than at the top and bottom. And to me, when you add this, it just kind of evens everything out. So now it's just a little bit more even. Okay. All right, so let's add, first we'll add the DSP. These are quick and easy cards. So I hope that you are going to enjoy some quick and easy cards. I love to make ones that have steps to them. And then sometimes I really like it when I can have some that are quick and easy. Okay, that's going to need a little bit of trimming. All right, so let's put some adhesive on the frame. Again, you can sit down and you could make up that whole package of paper, and it wouldn't take you a super long time to do that. You could make a lot of note cards. You could make some birthday cards, some thinking of yous. You'll see that I have some that say just a note. Okay, now this one to me is almost finished. I am going to add a little thinking of you. That is from, I believe it's Sketched Butterflies. There's a thank you. I'm sorry, a thinking of you that I thought would be perfect. However, this thinking of you is not straight. So I'm just going to practice and remind myself. Okay, so that's straight. Actually, that's not bad. Let's try it again. That's kind of straight. Okay, I think we can go with that. All right, so we're just going to put this right down in the corner. Perfect. Okay, so, and if you notice, let me get the lid on that. This thinking of you is a little bit sketchy, and it reminds me of, it kind of feels like it fits with this because it's sketchy. And I'm not going to put any I can't even say it. I'm not going to add any embellishments to the front of this card. I don't really think it needs any because it's kind of old, has more of an old feel to it. I know there's another word I'm trying to add in there. I'm not sure what it is. Okay, really I should have put the little pieces on here first. So we'll see if I cut them. Okay, so I did the same thing. I used my fancy borders, and this time I'm putting the DSP on first. This is how I normally do it. And then I'm adding 1/4 of an inch of black. So that was an inch. And then this is 1/4 of an inch. Okay. All right, so there we go. I'm happy. So here again are these measurements right there. Okay, so now I've shown you that. Okay, now let's take a look at this card. I mean, this piece of DSP. Let me find my... Okay, so here's the card I made. And I want to show you first. Okay, here's the wheat field. Okay, so now I'm making these pieces, you know, fit right within the frame. And you have a choice here. You can go up and down like this, but you notice that the border on the top and bottom is much larger than the border on the right and left. So I thought, you know, it'd be kind of fun to just tilt it. Now that might make you crazy. I like it, it makes me happy. But I just want you to know that you could do it this way, or you could do it this way, either way. Okay, so that's that one. Now this one is the cabin. And again, you know, I thought about, because sometimes you can, you know, go one way or the other, but if you go this way on this one, you're gonna lose a lot of the path. So I feel like this one is gonna go this way. That's how I did this one. You Make a Difference. That is from Thankful Garden. That's another new, I think that's an online one, Thankful Garden. Believe it or not, I used Early Espresso ink on this. It looks green, but it's not, it's Early Espresso. This is just a very simple note card. And again, I'm not putting embellishments on it because I think they're kind of old fashioned looking. And I personally don't think they need any, but you get to do whatever you want to. Okay, then for this sketch, again, you can go either way. I prefer this way because I like to see more of the scene. But if you went this way, I mean, you could. And you could let it come out over the edges like I did, the other one. But I guess maybe because I grew up on a farm in Illinois. And when we would go to town, you know, there would be lots of old buildings. In fact, we even had an old machine shed. And it just kind of, you know, reminds me of that. So I really, really like this print. Now, originally when I did this, I used Pebbled Path. And then as I was looking at it today, I thought, you know, I think I prefer black because it brings out the black. So let me show you again. Pebbled Path and Pebbled Path ink, or black. See, I prefer the black. But either one goes, the Pebbled Path or the black. And again, I've done it at an angle. If that, like I say, if that makes you crazy, put it straight. Okay, so there's that one. And then I've done this one. Okay, let me move this one. I've done this one in 2 different directions. So just a note, done at an angle. And just a note, let's see, where is that from? Linked Together. And this again is a Secret C, that new in color, which is so beautiful. So just a note from, yeah, Linked Together. Now I did it in this direction, the way I did this card, letting some of it come over the edge. And this Just a Note is from Notes and Totes. That is another new set. And this one is online. Notes and Totes, 165239. It's going to be an interesting one. So I actually like this either way. I like it either way. Okay, so those are just possibilities. Okay, then here's another one of the papers. And again, this Just a Note is from the same one, Notes and Totes. And then I took one of the, I'm going to tell you what I did. Yeah, if I could think of it. Shucks. Oh, Unbounded Love. I took one of the Unbounded Love dies. Oh, you know what? It was Fancy. It's not Unbounded Love. It's Fancy something. It's an old set. I can't think of what it's called. That die. And then I just cut it down because it was a little bit too big. I'm sorry, you guys. I can't think of what the fancy thing is. This is Mossy Meadow, by the way. And again, this is beige cardstock. So see, this has a beige background. This is not going to be pretty on white. in my opinion. And then I just added a couple of little butterflies. Okay, so there's that one. Then, now here comes the sailboat. I love this one. And again, you can always see, you know, if you want to go one direction or the other direction. It's just kind of fun. You have lots of possibilities with this paper. So you have some great cards for men. This could go to a man or a woman. You know, it's just beautiful. It depends on, you know, who the person is. Do they love the outdoors? If they love the outdoors, I think this could go to a man or a woman. So I'm going to put, let's see if I can pull these down where you can see them. Take a picture, and then I'm going to put a few more out for you to take a picture of if you want to take pictures of those. I can see that wow, the sun is really bearing down here. Here we go. Wow, maybe I should have closed that the whole time. Okay, so let's see, what else do we have here? Okay, so let me move a couple of these, and then we'll put down just a note. This one came from Go To Greetings, and this one is from Link Together, and that's Pebbled Path. And You Make a Difference. Oh, I already said that one. Thankful Garden, and then you can put this one however you want it. Happy birthday from Go To Greetings. Okay, so just take some pictures. And I hope I've given you lots of ideas there for how you can use this gorgeous designer paper. And, oops, that's not the set. The Gallery Blooms. And I'll be showing you cards that I've made with these 3 sets probably next week. So thank you so much for joining me, and I definitely look forward to seeing you next time. Also, let me just say, if you do not have a regular demonstrator, please reach out to me, sandystamper@earthlink.net. Don't put an A in the stamper, because that was already taken. And I would be happy to send you one of the new catalogs. And please subscribe. Thank you so much. So many of you have subscribed, and I really appreciate that. And then press like. That really helps me. So thank you once again for joining me, and I will see you next week.